So if you'll observe the here, I think we are now nutrition in human beings. So as we know, human beings also we used to call it as what? Nutrition in human beings also we can call it as? Also we can call it as?
Human digestive system.
Human digestive system. So in last class we have studied that, as you know, the various organs which are involved in our human digestive system is mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. And as well as the glands which are associated with the human digestive system are salivary glands, liver,
Pancreas, liver.
pancreas. So that is what we have discussed. And as well as we know that every digestive system means in the sense of nutrition in any animal or human being, it is totally consists of carried out by 5 steps. So the first step is ingestion.
Digestion, digestion, absorption.
Multicellular organisms, they have a special organ called for inserting the food or else taking the food. Understand? So that is only called as mouth. So even the human beings have a special organ that is only we used to call it as mouth. So we are ingesting the food through this mouth. As well, if it comes to the digestion, so our digestion process begins at mouth itself. So as we know that their physical digestion as well as chemical digestion will be. So later that partially digested food is entering into, understand, esophagus. So esophagus, it will enter into a J-shaped, what is that J-shaped called as? What is a J-shaped body?
Stomach.
Which is present left side of our abdomen. Left side of our abdomen, that is only called as stomach. So here the food will be passed to the stomach with the help of esophagus, or else food pipe. We have a movement of contraction and expansion of the muscles which are present in this. So that is only called as, what we should call that movement?
Peristaltic.
Peristaltic movement.
Peristaltic movement.
Yeah.
Peristaltic movement.
Movement.
Peristaltic
After
movement.
that, once it will enter into the stomach, so from there we have studied that. So stomach, gastric juices will be released. So these gastric juices contains hydrochloric acid,
HCl, pepsin,
Pepsin, mucus.
mucus.
pepsin and mucus.
Mucus.
So as we know, what is the use of hydrochloric acid, what is the use of pepsin, and what is the use of mucus? Is it yes or no? Is there any doubt, anybody? No.
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
So as we comes to here, mucus, the use of mucus is the hydrochloric acid will cause the damage or erosion of inner lining of stomach, which will lead to the formation of ulcer. Is it yes or no? So that is why mucus will protect the mucus will help to protect the stomach wall from its the own secretion of hydrochloric acid. That is what we have studied. Now, after that, the food, the proteins will be completely digested in stomach itself. So with the help of what? Proteins.
Pepsin, sir.
Pepsin.
Pepsin. Pepsin is only active in acidic medium or basic medium.
Acidic medium. Acidic medium.
Right. So this is all we have discussed. Now, the food, understanding from stomach, is entering into a small intestine. Understanding? Still, it is not completely digested. A partially digested food, it will goes from the stomach into the small intestine. So now here, how it will transfer? The exit of food from stomach is regulated by some muscle which releases it into small amounts into the small intestine, like small amount, like that, like mission, how it will be sending small, first little amount, after little amount, after little amount. So that muscle only we used to call as, what is that muscle? Which will regulate the food, partially digested food from
Sphincter muscle.
Sphincter muscle.
stomach to
Sphincter muscle.
intestine. Sphincter, understanding? Sphincter muscle.
Sphincter.
So that is what,
Sphincter muscle.
understanding?
Sphincter.
Yes. So
Yes,
this
sir.
here we have discussed in the last class. Yes or no? So now,
Yes, sir.
so the food is entering into from the stomach, the partially digested food. Now entering into where? It is entering into
Small intestine.
Small
intestine. From stomach to small intestine.
small intestine. So here the food is reaching to the small intestine now. So here if you observe, the small intestine is the largest part of the alimentary canal. All of you should remember. So the total length of alimentary canal, how much it is?
9 meters.
9 meters.
9 meter.
9 meters.
So if we take the small intestine, its name is small intestine, but it is the largest part of alimentary canal. All of you should remember. So this is the largest, keep it understanding, running notes. Largest part of, understanding of what? Largest part of alimentary canal. So do you know what is the length of that? Anybody?
7 meters, sir.
No. If given 7 meters, 6.5 meter. Understand? Long in an adult man. In an adult, if you take, it is, understand, 6.5 meters. So if you observe, here the small intestine is very long, but it is called a small intestine. Why? What is the reason? That is what I am saying. Small intestine, even though it is the longest organ of alimentary canal, why we should call it as a small intestine? Anybody, any idea? Any, just if you know, you can tell me. If not, I will say. Yes. Here, we have two things, intestines. One is small intestine, another one is large intestine. Large intestine is smaller in size, length, understand? But small intestine very longer in length. But if you'll observe, understanding the thickness, the size, if you'll see, it is very narrow. That is the reason. Understand? So the intestine, small intestine is very, very narrow. So that is the reason why it is called as small intestine. Do you understand, Amma?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now if you observe, this small intestine is arranged in the form of coil in our belly. Understand? Like in the sense of, I will show you the picture like, it is arranged in the form of coil, like how electric coil will be arranged. In the same way, it has been arranged like a coil in our belly. Belly means what? Stomach one. Like, understanding? Okay, ma. This is called as belly. So it has been arranged in the form of coil in our belly. So here if you observe, the small intestine, you people are saying that Alni said that 7 meters, understand? And I am saying it is 6.5 meters. Then, what is, sir? What is the correct answer? You remember, there is no kind of a fixed length for the small intestine. It is differs in various animals depending on the type of food they eat, and you also understand. So we people, few are completely vegetarians, few people are understanding mixed food. Most of humans are mixed one. So that is why it will length will be little bit. It will be slightly varies, and compared to the animals, it is completely varies depend upon the type of food. For example, if you take, is there anybody in our group, is there completely vegetarians? Anybody? I think most of you will eat veg and non-veg. Yes?
Yes, sir.
That's okay. I think, Arvind, are you the vegetarian?
No, sir.
So okay. So as we know that, let it be. No problem. So anyhow, we are seeing some vegetarian animal in our surroundings. Cow. Do you know cow?
Yes, sir.
How many of you know cow?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So if you observe, compared to the non-veg, veg, those who are eating, the animals which are understanding, eating the food like grass, trees, a leaf or something. So as we know that all contains water. Grass contains some kind of substance. It is very famous and it is known substance to everybody. Can you guess it? Grass and all contains a very complex substance. It is very difficult to digest. Very difficult to digest. Complex substance. What is that?
Starch.
Starch.
Carbohydrates.
Cellulose, sir.
What?
Cellulose.
Who said? Who said? Who said? Arun. Who said cellulose? Arun Karthikeya. Okay. So that is what? Understand? It contains cellulose. So that is what? So digestion of cellulose is very difficult compared to the other kind of food. So if you observe here, the cellulose is a carbohydrate food which is digested with difficulty. It is the carbohydrate food, very difficult to digest. That is why if you take any kind of herbivorous animals, what is the meaning of herbivores? What is the meaning of herbivorous?
Plant eaters.
Plant eating animals.
Plant eaters.
So if you take the
Plant eating.
of these herbivorous animals, like for best example, cow, bull, or buffalo, anything, they will eat this grass, and it will need a longer, a small intestine to allow the cellulose present in grass to be digested completely. Understand? So if you take the meat, suppose for example, we people are else carnivores. For them, a food which is easier to digest, very, very easiest. If you take non-veg, understand, be easy to digest. So that what will happen? Intestine, is it required long intestine? Is it required long intestine? No. So the animals like carnivorous animals, if you take, understand? So they will eat only meat, understand? So that they have small intestine. That is what you should remember. Do you understand?
Sir, the length of small intestine in a herbivorous animal
In the
is
sense
7
of
meters.
length, not in the sense of a small intestine. Understand, Amma? So here they have a longer small intestine. Here a smaller small intestine. Do you understand? Ashika?
Yes, sir, then the length of 7 meters in herbivorous animals.
This length again varies from the type of animal. Suppose if you take a cow may leads to even more than 10 meters because the size again, the body size, depend upon the body size, it will increases or decrease. Understand?
Yes, sir.
That is why I'm saying we cannot say that exact length. Depend upon the body size, it will be varies. That is why I'm saying all the herbivorous animals, it will be larger, longer small intestine, not larger, longer small intestine. And meat-based animals like carnivorous animals, it is a shorter small intestine. Shorter. Note it down. Please, all of it. Is it over?
Yes, sir.
Now, so if you enter into here, human beings, understand? So we people will eat both. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So our digestive system is complex or very simple? Digestion of our food is easy or difficulty? We people will eat both, correct, at a time.
Difficult.
We will eat.
Difficult.
We will eat rice plus chicken. We will
Difficult, sir.
eat some kind of dal. Yeah, everything. We will eat always together. Mixed food people will prefer. So there is nobody who will eat only complete veg. Yes, somebody will be there, but nobody can be complete non-veg. Definitely we people mix with rice or some kind of thing. So as we know, if it comes to the human beings, understand? So that the complete digestion of food, like in the sense of, we will eat both carbohydrates as well as proteins as well as fats, and as well as, understand? Like in the sense of cellulose containing things as well as meat-based food, both veg-based food, plant-based food, and meat-based food, both we will continue. So that is why it is a little bit difficult process. So now, how it will happen, we should know. So still the stomach means where the food is entering into the intestine, still what will happen, Ra? It will be partially digested only. Understand? So
Partially.
digested means proteins are completely digested. Now remaining food, everything is entering into our small intestine with the help of some muscle called as sphincter muscle. Now you observe inside what will happen, we should know. Understand? So if we'll take first, the small intestine receives the secretion of two glands. Understand? Means two glands will release, they will secrete some kind of, understanding, juice, and it will be absorbed by it will be released into the small intestine. Can you able to say the two glands, anybody? So now the partially digested food is entering into the intestine, small intestine. So now here we have two glands which will secrete some juice and they will send it into liver, intestine. Can you say what is the two glands? Who will secrete the juice? We have two glands here. One is what? Liver, and second one is what?
Pancreas.
Pancreas. So, if you
Pancreas.
these
Pancreas.
understanding. Once the food is entering into our small intestine immediately will receive like activation message. It will receive the, understanding, juices from these two glands. So now here if we'll observe, immediately our liver will secrete a juice called as, can you say the name of that juice which is secreted by liver?
Bile juice.
Bile juice.
Bile juice. Very good. We used to call it as bile. Understand? All of you should note it down. Still so many options, please make a call for them. So bile. So if you'll observe this bile, what is the color of this bile juice? Anybody, any idea? That is what we want. Bile is an. What is the color of this bile juice?
Green.
Huh?
Green.
Not green. It is greenish yellow.
Greenish yellow, sir. Greenish yellow, sir. Greenish yellow.
It is a bile is a
Greenish yellow.
yellow liquid.
Greenish yellow.
It is secreted by whom? Which is made by a liver, and usually, normally it will be stored in the gallbladder. Where it will store? Where it will store?
Gallbladder.
Gallbladder. That is what you should remember. So, bile juice is secreted by the liver and stored in gallbladder. Now, this bile juice, if you observe, what is the color of this one? Greenish yellow liquid. Greenish yellow liquid. Now, if you observe here, this bile juice is alkaline in nature. Alkaline. What is the meaning of alkaline? Alkaline means, is it a base or basic in nature or acidic in nature?
Basic in nature.
Basic in nature or acidic in nature?
Basic in nature.
Remember, a base will dissolve in water, then that is only known as alkaline solution. So that is why this bile juice, understanding, basically it is, understanding, in basic in nature. Jesse, Pranita is absent. Those who are absent, please make a call. I'm already 5:35, correct? So many is absent. Nitish Kumar, good morning, Ra. Varshini, good morning.
Sir, I am here, sir.
Pranita is there, Ra.
Jesse, sir.
Jesse, you are there. That is what I'm saying. Pranita, I'm asking. Pranita is missing. Somani is missing. Dena is absent. Just maybe they may slept. Just once you just give a call, they will wake up. Okay. We will continue. Understand? Good morning, Anusri. So here if you'll observe,
The small intestine receives the bile juice from the liver or gallbladder.
Amma, it is secreted by liver. Do you understand? It is produced by liver, but it is stored in the gallbladder. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. But from where it will receive?
It will be received from the liver only, but middle mediator, like a storage organ is gallbladder. Then only it will entering into the understanding small intestine. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now if you'll observe here, these bile juices, the color of this bile juice is greenish yellow liquid, which is basically alkaline in nature. And if it comes to here, it is alkaline in nature as well as also it contains some kind of salts. Understand? So it is a mixture of basic in nature as well as neutral substances, like in the sense of salts. And this both will help in alkaline as well as salts help to emulsify. Yeah, what is the meaning of emulsify? Can you able to say? This is the word vocabulary we should learn. Biology vocabulary. Emulsify. Do you know what is the meaning of emulsify? What?
Cutting होना sir.
Cutting means what? Is it we'll use cutting?
Broken down.
We're using from first.
Broken down, sir.
Can you say the spelling?
All sir.
Emulsify.
Sir, can you spell it?
EMULSIFY. Emulsify. So emulsify means, remember, break only ra. What will happen? Break the fats. Remember. So break the fats is only called as emulsifying. Do you understand, Amma? All of you. Emulsifying means in the sense of break the fats which are present in our food. Done by whom? Done by whom, Ra? Fats are, what are the fat we are containing?
Bile juice.
Which contains our food is digested by, is breaking into small pieces, is done by bile juice. That process is called as emulsify. And remember, these fats also we used to called as another name. Do you know that name? That is only called as lipids. What we should call?
Lipids.
Lipids. Understand? So it may contains fats or it may contains lipids. Both are digested by the bile juice. So if the food which contains, understand, any kind of fats or lipids present in our food which has been emulsified means breaking by bile juice. That is what you should remember. So now if you observe here,
Sir, aren't fat and lipids the same?
fats are lipids. Anything, any one thing, fats are lipids, both are same. Do you understand? R, bracket I am writing. Is it okay? Now, if you observe, these bile juice will perform two functions again. Understanding, Amma? So what is the two functions means? For example, if we'll come first one. So as we know that our stomach, it is releasing hydrochloric acid. Is it yes or no? Yes or no? So that what is entering into the intestine, is it will be acidic in nature or basic in nature?
Acidic in nature.
Is
Acidic in nature.
nature or basic in nature?
Acidic in nature.
Acidic in nature. So that once it will entering into the intestine, small intestine, so bile juice will be produced from the liver and it will be mixed entering into the small intestine. So that what is the nature of bile juice? Bile juice is present in alkaline. So that what will happen? What is happening? This acidic nature will be reacting with the basic nature so that it will neutralize the acidity. Is it yes or no? Acid plus base. What is the reaction? Acid plus base. We have studied neutralization reaction. Acid plus base will give you what? Salt plus? Salt plus?
Water.
Water. This is what we have studied the neutralization
Water.
reaction. So if it comes to here, we have a two
Sir,
further.
this is functions of bile juices, sir.
Yes, bile juice, one of the function. Understand? So the first function of bile juice is makes the acidic food which is coming from the stomach, alkaline, so that pancreatic enzyme can act on it immediately. Understand? So because it is releasing the bile juice, understanding, so this bile juice is basic in nature, so immediately the reaction will take place so that these pancreatic enzymes can reacting with that food. That is the first one. Next, these bile salts break the fats present in the food into the small glucose, understanding, like making it very easy for the enzymes to act it and digest them very, very easily. Understand? So now here, if you'll observe, whatever the fats are present, like you may notice it in our Pudukkottai, mutton balls they will sell. Have you purchased any time? If it comes to the Sundar mess back of my home, they used to sell the mutton balls, like something they are calling in Tamil, I don't know. But everything like a grinding, they will make it and they will make a small balls and oil they will release and they will sell. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you may eat at least one time also. Like that here also, whatever the fats or lipids which is present, it will be break by the bile salts. Understand? Because bile juice contains two things. One is alkalines and as well as salts. Do you understand, Amma? So alkaline, what is the use of alkaline? Alkaline reacting with the acidic food. That is, and if it comes to this bile salts, they will break these fats which are present in the food and they will make it into small, understanding, a word called as globules. Understanding? Globules means in the sense of like a balls. Globules. Globules. Globules, making it easy for the enzymes to act it and digest them. Understand? This is the two uses of bile juice. So if you'll observe here, as we know that we have a gland called as second gland. What is that? Liver releases bile juice. So bile juice performing to
Pancreas.
Pancreas.
if you take a pancreas is a large gland which lies parallel to and beneath the stomach. Remember, a large gland which is present just beneath means below, which is parallel as well as beneath the stomach. Parallel and beneath the stomach. So which is present what? Who is present? Pancreas gland. So now liver functions is over. Liver perform bile juice. That bile juice having two uses. That is what? One is alkaline, next one salts. So now if you observe here, these bile, understanding pancreas, understand this pancreas secretes a juice called as, what is the juice of pancreas?
Pancreatic juice.
Pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice. So now if you observe here, this pancreatic juice which is secreted by the pancreas, understanding, contains digestive enzymes. What it contains? It contains digestive enzymes. You understanding, Amma? Digestive enzymes like pancreatic amylase. That names is most important. Pancreatic amylase and as well as trypsin and lipase. Trypsin and lipase. So it contains by what? Pancreatic juice. Please all of you remember. We used to get pepsin. Pepsin contains by whom? Pepsin contains by whom?
Stomach.
Gastric.
Gas, which is active in acidic media and used to produce. What is the use of that pepsin? What is the use of the pepsin?
Used to
Digest
digest proteins.
Used to digest the proteins. Yes or no? So if it comes to the next down, pancreas will secrete the pancreatic juice, which they contains the digestive enzymes like pancreatic amylase. First, three things are contains. It is contains three things. Remember, one is pancreatic amylase. Next, second one, trypsin and lipase. Lipase. These are the three enzymes which is carried out, which is contains by what is that? Pancreatic juice. Now here, if you'll observe the enzyme which is called as pancreatic and amylase. Pancreatic amylase. The use of this pancreatic amylase is which will breaks down the starch. Which will breaks down the what? This is what we are important. Individual importance is most important. So, pancreatic amylase will break down the starch as well as the next enzyme what? What is the next enzyme? Speak. Trypsin. So, if we take the trypsin, trypsin will digest the proteins, understanding? So that you may understand.
Protein.
Pepsin and trypsin both will digest what? Both will digest what?
Proteins.
Proteins. And as well as
Proteins.
to the lipase. Lipase will emulsify the fat.
Then what is the difference between them, sir?
What?
What is the difference
Difference
between
between
trypsin and the
Yes.
yes,
So actually when we are eating the food,
they just fat, sir.
contains proteins.
Fat.
Yeah. It contains proteins. Some amount of proteins may be understanding digested in our stomach itself with the help of pepsin, and remaining still if it contains, then it will be digested with the help of trypsin, which carried out by the pancreatic juice. Do you understand, Amma? So now you may understand the both uses of pepsin and trypsin. What is the uses of pepsin and trypsin? Both are useful for
Digestive proteins.
digesting proteins, and as well as if it comes to the lipase. So lipase is related to the what? Emulsified fats. Understanding? They will break down the emulsified fats. Emulsified fats means in the sense of what? It is already emulsified by bile juice. Correct or not? Means already it is made it into, understanding, globules. So these globules, again it has been digested. Means again it will be further breakdown by the lipase. Understand? So this is what which will happen in small intestine. All of you, do you note it down? These three things, note it down. Pancreatic juice, pancreatic amylase, next trypsin, next lipase. These are the three enzymes which is present in pancreatic juice. So what is the use of that? All of you should write it. Have you noted down? Very, very important. Understanding. From this only case studies used to come. That is what. Even I have seen this case study last year. That is what I am saying. One of the most confusing chapter for confusing concept for most of the children last year. Still, even at last also, children are used to ask this. Sir, what is this, sir? What is that, sir? But you should not face that problem. That is. So, do you understand or not?
Yes, sir.
So now, the only two juices is released into the intestine.
No, sir. Bile juice and
Bile juice and pancreas. That's all is over. Is it any other juice? Is it any other juice? Anybody knows? You can tell. Our food contains water. Is it our food contains only fats? Is it our food contains only carbohydrates? Means in the sense of starch. Is it our food?
Sir, one doubt, sir. What is insulin, sir?
Insulin. I will say you will come now. You wait. It is only next we are going to study. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now you see. Is it our food contains only these things? Proteins, proteins, fats, and starch. Is there any other things contains in our food? Please tell me.
Yes, sir. Carbohydrates.
So many it contains. Understand?
Sir, saliva.
Yeah.
Saliva.
Let it be. So if it comes to here, our outside glands, like in the sense of liver and pancreas, our intestine will receive some kind of juices. So with the help of that, it has been done. Some been carried out. Some intestine, some digestive process. Now, if we take that is a step one. Understand? If we take the step two, our intestine itself, like Dina said one day, Willie, you may notice it. Suppose if you take the intestine itself, the walls of the intestine, if you take, just I am showing you, understand? The walls of the intestine, they contains the glands which will secrete intestinal juice. What is the juice name?
Intestinal.
Juice name,
Intestinal juice.
So which is secreted by the walls, understanding the glands which is present in small intestine, walls of the small intestine. So if we take here, these intestine juice, intestinal juice, it contains a number of enzymes which will complete the remaining digestion of, understanding, complete, if still any food is not digested. So
Sir, this is segregated by
intestine itself, walls of intestine, understanding. So the walls of small intestine, they contains the glands, that glands will segregate this one. So now it will secrete by intestine glands itself. That is why it is called as intestinal juice, which contains a different kind of, the number of enzymes which complete the digestion of a complex carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates into glucose. Understand? Next, proteins into amino acids. Proteins into amino acids. Still, if anything missing, that is what? Proteins into amino acids, as well as fats into fatty acids. Fats into fatty acids. What is that?
fatty acids.
Acids. Fats will converting into fatty acids, and also it will be converting into glycerol. What is that, Amma? Fats also
Glycerol.
converting into fatty acids and glycerol. So now if we take,
Sir, then what is the function of villi, sir?
Amma, it will come, Amma. Now only wait, Amma. Absorption, it will come, Amma. Okay, va?
Okay, sir.
Third step is absorption, correct, Amma? So there only it will come, intestine and all. You just wait, insulin and all, it will come.